Hey guys, this is John.
And Austin.
And this is another episode of the Meatgistics podcast brought to you by Waltons. Patrick, what number is this?
176.
176? We've been doing this for a long time now.
I knew it was 170 something, just because I'm going to be grumpy for a minute because I'm changing podcast apps. Because stinking Google Podcasts is like, we're no longer going to do podcasts. And they're trying to get you to move to YouTube Music. And my humble opinion, YouTube Music sucks for podcasts.
Yeah.
I want my music and my podcast separate.
What?
What do you mean?
I just never heard that take. Listen, dang it. I'm not going to
I use Google Podcasts and I'll switch once they shut it off. But until then, I'm just going to keep using it.
I just don't want to be in a frantic hurry when they shut it off. They have a shut off date.
Don't you think frantic's a little...
No,
you're not running out of food. You just don't know where your podcasts are.
No, I've gotten into when I create a habit on something, like it's a need. I need, like, you know me.
I do know you.
I'm bad with habits.
Right. Yeah.
I get into something and I'm going to get into it.
Right.
And so, like, I'm very particular about what and how it works. And so I've went through a whole deal. I went through a whole list of apps again, and I am on an app and I am happy with it. I think. I don't know. Pocket Casts.
Oh,
I think that's what I'm going with.
Okay. Maybe I'll check that one. I've been at Spotify. I use for some apps or some podcasts. So Pocket Cast.
But
not a sponsor.
That one, when I was going through doing stuff, like Google Podcast doesn't actually show you how many episodes I think there are. A lot of other apps, they actually tell you like how many episodes different podcasts have. So
right.
I saw we were like 174, 75 or something the other day.
Yeah. So excellent. That's 3 years.
That's crazy.
How do we ship out cheese? I know this is out of nowhere.
Usually in like a brown corrugated box.
Like I shouldn't be saying.
No, I'm just curious as to how you got there.
Well, someone is posting negatively about Waltons about how we ship them cheese. So I was curious how we ship out cheese.
On, was it like Facebook or something?
Facebook or something, yeah.
Yeah. They don't like it that it wasn't refrigerated, probably.
Is that all? But it doesn't need to be, though, right?
No, technically cheese does not need refrigerated. It's just a shelf life issue, basically. Like, don't refrigerate it and it's going to lower your shelf life, and sometimes drastically. So
it's a duration thing. If you want it to last longer.
This time of year, it doesn't matter at all.
When it's sitting outside there's a semi truck back there that all our packages run into, and it's sitting outside. It's below 30 today. I'm pretty sure, because it was freezing this morning. Anyways, it's as cold in there. It's actually colder in there than it is in our refrigerator. Yep. If we try to freeze it usually, so if we can, we pull it out of the freezer. But then it's going to go sit in a trailer somewhere else, sit in a FedEx warehouse. It's going to sit in all these different places that are not temperature controlled, so it's cold. You do get into an issue during the summertime, and we'll reserve maybe that discussion for another time.
Right.
But because we made some changes this year and how we do all that, we will probably keep those, but we'll see. We'll talk. Once we get to summertime, we'll see what we do. But
yeah. Any other random questions?
Random? That's work related.
We don't even... we were talking about this earlier. It's not like we have a ton of Meat Matters stories, so I don't know why that bothered me that he derailed us.
The way he looked at me, I was just like, oh man, is this like an issue that like he's aware of and like is tackling head on? And this is... No. But
you just caused a deep breath.
I figured we might as well take that head on. But yeah, I mean, that's standard to ship cheese like that. So
Yep.
Cool.
That's how...
I was almost going to be like, hey, if it is wrong, I'm sure we'll make it right.
Especially this time of year, we never have shipped it out in a cooler. Once you get past the hot summer months, it just doesn't need it.
Yeah.
So, okay. One of the things I noticed is this time of year is an incredibly hard time to find any meat stories, because no matter what you search, the only thing that comes up is New Year's recipes, or recipes for the new year, or how you can save money by eating less meat in the new year, or help climate change in the new year. Now,
or pictures of me from high school, because meat was my nickname, right?
I don't know. God, what is the movie now? It's a baseball movie where Meat is his nickname. Is it? What movie is that? They call him Meat.
Patrick. The life.
No, is it the natural? Yeah, whatever.
Meat.
Moving on. But yeah, no, it's all just New Year's like stories and recipes. It drives me nuts. All right, we were on the podcast or the live stream the other day, which we came in and did on the first. Some would say heroically. We heroically came in on our day off to do, but personally, I think Austin just didn't want to do it on Tuesday, so he's like, let's just do it today.
A little bit of both. I think it was honestly probably the better day and choice for it because people are more available to watch.
They're home,
it just means that the three of us had to sacrifice a few hours.
The only time we've done a weekend podcast, do you remember we did it on the opening day of hunting season?
Yeah. Smart choice there.
He was like, good job. Good job, us. But anyways, on the live stream, I talked about how my clothes washer had broken. I fixed it by taking everything apart. Like I was unplugging hoses, looking for clogs or anything. And did I find a clog? I sent Austin a picture of it. It was just this.
Dude.
I gagged.
I showed Patrick it
Didn't
too.
someone guess dog hair?
Somebody might have.
I said hair.
Yeah, it was a mix
definitely.
of dog hair, woman hair, and lint. And it was just 100% clogging.
0%
this
man hair.
No,
was in there.
well, I mean, what hair are we talking
I
about here? My
understand.
chest hair? That'd be the only thing that's coming off.
I want to make that clear.
Yeah, just no.
That's what you said.
No man hair. So I had to. My upper back's been hurting me, so I'm reaching in like back there, which is already hurting, and I'm just like trying to pull little pieces out with my finger. And so finally I get like a huge clump and it just all comes out and this smell comes wafting out. I was like, oh no. Like, that's so bad.
Did you go back for like, let me confirm, like do like the,
I know exactly what he's talking about.
yeah, that's it.
It's bad, guys. It's a bad smell.
Oh.
But no, I ran it. It actually worked well. Today I went to run my dishwasher on while I was home for lunch and that wouldn't turn on
Is
either.
it clogged with hair?
It won't even turn on. It's just off. So I guess I'm at the 10-year mark of that house, so things are going to start failing. The clothes washer one wasn't really a failure. It was more just a...
Wait, 10 years? You built that house too, right?
Yep.
You've been here 10 years?
No, we've been here 9 years. Or we've been in that house 9 years, but yeah.
Dang.
We're right at that mark. So anyways, made me irate at lunch today. And then another thing, the winner of last month's giveaway, she had won like 4 months ago. And I thought, how is that possible? Like, that's ridiculous. There's no way that that's true. So I was going through and looking at a bunch of things and I sorted everybody who had entered by how many entries they had. And she was like 4th in number of entries, both this time. And then she was like 2nd last time. So the number of entries you have absolutely does affect your chances of winning. So people need to be taking advantage of the comeback every day. Absolutely. The reference.
So I probably shouldn't do this, but there's got to be, just because I think this will be fun, there's got to be a way to like hack the refer a friend deal.
Okay.
In my mind, someone on Meatgistics needs to start it and then create a post for like, this is deal, and they post their refer link, and someone else uses it and posts theirs, and it's just this daisy chain. So everybody involved gets an extra.
Yeah, that's not a bad way to do it.
I don't know.
I don't know what that really gets you, but it'd probably be better if they just posted it to their Facebook or something.
Well, that too. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
'Cause you get more than just one. Maybe
it depends on what it is. If it's like specifically a grinder, you may have a harder time getting some of your friends and family that aren't doing processing to be like, oh yeah, I want to sign up for that.
Even care.
But if it was like, I don't know, we were actually just talking about this before podcast started. We used to have more kitchen-y gadget stuff. If we do have some, if there was more giveaways like that, you get just a wider audience involved. But
I'm going to show you something. While I was looking at our number of people who had signed up and like how many entries everybody had, I found something else that was really interesting. And I didn't really go into it more than that. But we had, on the last day, we had over 200 signups from a specific town.
huh.
That sounds weird, right?
Like Like a small town, like everyone was like, "Hey, go sign in," or was it like New York City?
Morristown, New Jersey.
I have no
I
idea.
don't think it's that big.
I thought New Jersey was just a massive, like, populated area, and you told me the other day, no, it's just like one spot, and the rest is wilderness.
Yeah, there's a reason they call it the Garden State. I mean, there is very large swaths of land with nothing in it. I can't remember how to get here. Entrance. There we go. But yeah, look at these are all Morristown. And if I change how many can be seen from 20 to 250, they're all still going to be Morristown. And I'm pretty sure they're all on the last day.
Huh. Wonder
So I
if
don't
it's either legit or an ISP routing.
That was my thought. Is it
Issue,
is it
yeah.
some sort of just they're not actually from Morristown? Now you go to the next page and it breaks down. It's no longer just Morristown, but all on the same day. It says they're all valid.
Depends on where they come from. It could be, yeah, I don't know. It could be just an IP routing thing because, yeah, insight on what we do. Cloudflare is a IT thing. Sits in front of our website. Depending on how it's set up, it can masquerade or it can pass through an IP address. It could have an issue there
With that?
where it's not masquerading and passing through, right? It's glitching something, and so it's just getting the IP address for everybody there as a Cloudflare server instead of individual users.
Right. I also had that thought. Like when we go through and look at who's on the website at a specific time, like Chicago is always huge. Well, it's not just people in Chicago. It's stuff that comes through Chicago.
Yeah,
so
it can be, yeah.
could be that. All right. For the last 30 days, the top 5 users, do you want to take any guesses at this? I don't know if you've already looked at that.
I already looked. So
Okay.
yeah.
So Denny O has 192 posts in the last 30 days. That's awesome. Process Head is right on his heels with 149. Bocephus 131. Gus 4416 is 114, and Possum with 105.
Okay. I have a question.
Go ahead.
If I make it on that list, do I get recognized?
Yes.
I think that's going to be a goal for 2024. I'm going to be on that list.
So this is top 5.
Not every month,
Right.
but like a month or two.
It's just the top 5.
Yeah, I know. But still, like to get like 150 posts in a month, like that's like a month of dedication. It's not just like, crank those out in a day or two. There's not enough posts to just do that all at once.
I'm looking where you were in the last 30 days because you have been more active than you normally have. I've been less active than I normally am. I still think I'm above you.
Oh yeah, I've been more active, but only for like 3 or 4 days, not like every day. But I'm trying to make an active effort to do more, just do more things in general that like I used to do. Like I think I need to be on Meatgistics more. 1, I enjoy it. 2, I think there's value in it from multiple different angles.
So I've been on it less than normal, and I'm still above you.
Yeah.
Only by 2 posts. You were
Dang
close. You were close.
Is that for last month or the last 30 days?
Last 30 days.
Okay, so I can overtake you. I'm going to post a few times tonight.
Weird and useless. All right, featured flavor. We've been eating these jalapeno mango with ghost pepper cheese snack sticks, which this bag was not just a solid line. It was a dual line. Like it had ones in the front and ones in the back. So I've eaten a good 10 of these since I opened them. That either means I was starving or
it's one or the other.
They're really good.
Both. They are good. It's just it's a different type of flavor. To be honest, I didn't even realize we had habanero mango.
Jalapeno.
Sorry, I can't talk. Jalapeno mango, but I didn't realize it was a jerky.
Just realized we might have discontinued those because they were so expensive.
Oh, that's not cool.
It was like $37 a bag.
Really? Some of those, yeah.
Oh, no, we still have it. Oh, it's gone up. It's $43 a bag now.
Whoo. Why is that so expensive? Because
it's got jalapenos and mangoes.
Jalapenos keep going up in price.
Yeah.
And well, I mean, they're a commodity. They fluctuate. But that with the mango, what else is in here? Sugar is the number one ingredient, then fructose, then salt. So salt is cheaper than everything else. So when that's not number one.
Natural apricot.
Oh, and apricot flavor. Yeah. There's just too many things in there. It's going to be expensive. That is excessive, in my opinion. I don't know.
Seems insane. How many do you think we sold in the last 12 months of those bags? This is a good game. Do we even want to discuss this online?
Probably not.
It's not going to be many.
200.
Oh, no. I don't think we sold close to 200 of those.
I'm just thinking there's probably a commercial guy out there that's
you're
buying.
Probably right.
Like,
you were close.
Yeah, about 200.
Yeah. And it is. Austin was right. But it is, I'm sure you're right. It's one commercial guy who's buying it.
Yeah.
So, okay. Moving on. Featured flavor is supposed to be this new Walton's Bold Jerky seasoning concoction that I made. And I call it that because it's not how I normally make it. We were trying a new commercial style slicer. It looks like, if anyone's ever seen the movie on Netflix called Fear Street, there's one kill where they pass this girl's head through a slicer, and it's that type of slicer. Just goes, and the blades are set. You can't adjust.
Wait, it's like the knife is like circling?
Yeah, and it's a bunch of knives. Yeah. But it's one blade, and they're all circling.
One blade, multiple knives? I'm confused.
Sorry. It's a full blade. It's like a circle. It's not a cha-chunk, 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 cha-chunk. It just We're trying to explain this way.
That's weird. So
it's a wheel.
Different type of horizontal slicer then, right? It's a horizontal slicer?
Yeah, but you're passing through forward, not sideways. Anyways, but you can't adjust the thickness, so it's thinner than I would normally make it. So I used a different smoke schedule, and I used less sugar.
I would prefer this over the normal thickness.
I kind of figured you would. I'm not sure if I do or not, but it's a nice change.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a little bit different. And because it has less sugar in it, it's not as sticky. And you don't feel as gross after eating a full pound of it.
It just reminds me how much I absolutely freaking love Walton's Bold Jerky, though. Like
it's delicious.
Even little variations to it, it still has that base flavor, and it's good.
Well, I've got 60 something bags of it in there, so that should be enough for us to run live streams the rest of the year. Should be.
Till I start sneaking bags.
You said a long time ago that we should put barcodes on this and store it in the warehouse so that I could just enter.
Good.
Yeah. That might not be a bad idea.
Which I have to make sure
it a lot easier.
We have to make sure we tell employees they don't get employee discounts and they can't buy that. That is like
it's a $0 item.
Yeah, it's a customer giveaway item only.
Are we employees? Like, could we go back and get some? Because if we couldn't, then I don't want to do it.
Do you come get some now?
Yes. 100%. Yeah. What happened with the cheese
I need
the
to
other
answer?
day? I mean, for anyone who was on our live stream, Austin and I were eating this big block of cheese with some of the salami I had made. And I started laughing. It's like, what are you laughing at? I'm like, well, this cheese block is gone. And it was supposed to be so I could chunk up some Parmesan cheese, try it in a sausage, and see if it would melt. And instead, it just all got eaten with that salami.
We ate like the whole darn block.
Well,
it was delicious, though.
It was good. Very, very good cheese. All right, but Walton's Bold. Obviously, we're familiar with the flavor. What we do with this to make it a little bit more tender is I was adding 20% of the product's weight in water and 18% in cheese or in sugar, brown sugar. I backed that off to about 15%, and I think I could go a little bit lower.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if we stay at this thickness.
Less thickness. I think you need less of your other additives.
It is good, though. Do we want to tell them about the new toy?
Almost choked and died.
No. And I would have been a good video.
We'll have to put that on.
Right?
We'll clip that.
That would have been a very good video.
I tried to swallow and it literally hit the back of my throat and just stuck.
Have you ever been like at a restaurant and that almost happens? Every time when I was younger, I used to go out to.
I can't tell that story.
I used to go out to Applebee's with my parents, with my friends, whatever, because it was right down the street. I'd get one of their 8-ounce steaks that are just like, it's all one giant piece of something, and it's all it's terrible stuff. Each bite of steak, I'm like borderline choking on. And I don't know if that's just me being young out at a restaurant eating a steak, or if that's just a terrible cut of meat. And I think it's a little bit of both.
Well, I'm sure it is.
But you can't tell a story apparently.
Remind me to tell you a story about somebody choking on a piece of food after this podcast is over. I cannot tell it on this podcast, but it's great.
I almost choked and died one time on a piece of gum, large piece of gum. I don't chew like one piece. I always chew like 3, 4, like multiple pieces.
Right.
We're on family vacation. We're like playing cards, probably playing pitch. Sitting around a table laughing. Everyone thinks I'm kidding around. I'm there and I can't breathe. I stop. I'm choking. And everyone's just laughing. Ah, look at Austin.
Oh, no. You're like, I'm selling it.
And I'm actively dying.
Right.
And then finally I get it out and I spit out. And everyone's like, what?
Oh
I'm like,
God.
yeah, I was actually dying, people. Thank you for caring.
Chris Hahn once came back here from his office. He's in the front offices. That's down 2 hallways because I was coughing and choking in here on some sausage. And I kept trying to drink water to like push it down. And some of the water would get around, but then like the rest I would spit out. And just as he like came in the doorway, I finally managed to get it down and swallow it. But yeah, no, it wasn't quite at the point like, oh, I've got to go seek out help because I could get some air by, but it wasn't a lot of air.
The panic is still setting in.
Yep.
And yeah.
Yep. Like, what do I do? What do I do? So, all right. Those are fun choking stories. All right. Moving on to what did everyone cook today? First of all, do you know how many views what did everyone cook today has? You saw it again.
You got to tell me not to look
That's
ahead
my
of
bad.
time.
Patrick, do you have any guesses on how many views the thread that Tech started called What Did Everyone Cook Today has? It is our most popular thread all time on Meatgistics.
14,000
Do you want to take a serious guess or
posts. Am I way under? 140,000.
700,000?
Dang.
So
We're going to have like a party when it hits 1 million.
I think we have to do something for Tex, right?
Can we get a collective count of views of a post made by someone? Like right now we see how many posts someone had. We see different stats on their account. Can we?
Yeah, we have that most popular post.
No. Like collective, like your posts or your topics have been viewed this many times.
Oh, gotcha.
Because that, to be honest, that may be a better reward for some things than just post count. Not to make anybody upset out there that has a lot of posts, but a post that gets seen by 1,000 people is probably a bigger deal than a post that gets seen by 10. That doesn't always hold true because sometimes like something gets tagged and picked up by a search engine and then you just start getting things flooded because someone searches for XYZ.
It's 100% what happened with Meatgistics.
Yeah. Yep. They just get sent to the one thing when really the post that only had 10 views was a better post. It just got no search engine traffic.
Yeah. We also have a new video coming out. It should be out I think it might not be till next week, but it's making chicken snack sticks. We used 16 millimeter snack stick casings with our electric stuffer. That was the first thing that gave me some confidence to try smaller and smaller diameter snack sticks with that. And I now do 16 millimeter pork with that. As long as you add 0.75 liters of water, 25 pound batch, use SureCure. Thing runs just like your biggest concern is all the pressure you're building up. That casing wants to come off there real fast, man. You better have a good plan for when you run out of casing because you got to hit that stop button fast.
Just don't wait till you run out.
I wasn't supposed to bring that up again because we don't have the 10 millimeter tubes yet. I thought we did. We don't.
Oh, we're still waiting.
Sorry about that. Yeah, we're still waiting on the 10 millimeter tubes for this. Okay. When it does come in, I've been making a lot of small snack sticks because it works.
Yeah.
I wouldn't try it with beef. I wouldn't try it with wild game. Nothing that's denser, but pork and chicken, it works great.
I know people are liking their electric sausage stuffers. Just had somebody else that they had an original motor, gave them a new motor.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It was somebody I actually know related to.
Right.
So my older brother. So I think he might have gotten skipped because I think
did
we replace all the first gen motors?
Anyone who called in said, and I think we even sent a message out saying, if you have any issues at all, we have an updated motor.
say my brother probably got skipped because normally I deal with him on something.
Your brother.
But he got the new one and he was like just blown away. He was like, this is night and day. This is amazing. I'm like, yeah, that's what it was supposed to be from day one. We had a little hiccup there, but if you're in the market for an electric sausage stuffer, this is unlike any of the other ones out there. You can find other electric sausage stuffers on the market. They do not perform like this one.
I honestly think that took more off my life than the whole COVID thing put together, was what happened with those electric sausage stuffers when they came in. I was irate is the wrong word. Like I think it put me in a fight or flight mode for like months and months and months, like a long time, where I was just like, anything I just started freaking out about. I think I'm best. What I tried the other day did not go well. If you know what I'm talking about, did not work. So that'll be the last of that. We'll have to find something different. Okay, moving on. What did everybody cook today? First one I have is Crispy. He made some bacon wrapped roll with cheese in the middle and egg that looks just absolutely phenomenal. Great job of weaving. I've got to get better at things like that, like learning how to properly weave bacon, because that looks awesome and it's perfectly covered. I would absolutely eat that. Old Smoky made some steak and shrimp stir fry that looks delicious. I love shrimp stir fry. I know you don't like soy sauce. I get it. Which is why I still can't believe that you brought in teriyaki snack. I was eating. I'm like, this is teriyaki, but Austin brought it. He would not bring teriyaki.
I didn't think that you would, think that I brought teriyaki sticks or something store-bought. Like, I figured just the whole combo was going to screw with you, and that was the fun of it.
It did.
Yeah.
Call Doc today made some chili and cornbread, but aren't those tamales in the mouth? Wrapping for tamales, at least.
Yeah. Looks like it. I mean,
Or you guys make cornbread differently down here?
I don't know. I make cornbread from a box. We actually we didn't do it. Friends of ours brought their kids over to our house on New Year's Eve, and we had like a little kid New Year's Eve party. They brought over cornbread muffins with hot dog pieces inside. So kind of like the crescent roll with corn dog, but with cornbread. It was good. But the question was brought up of like, well, what is this? Is there flour and wheat and gluten, or is it corn? Oh yeah, it's mostly just flour and wheat. There's not a lot of corn actually in there, but
we used to call them drug rugs, the Mexican like poncho with the hoodie. Do you know what those are called? Like, do they have a real name? Patrick?
No clue.
Darn it. Because you'd call it that. Pigs in a that instead of pigs in a blanket.
No.
But it doesn't have a real name. Then John Belvedere made some dry cured sausage. He made all of that at home.
Oh, that's amazing.
So that's tons in the middle. And it's sopressata, prosciutto. Can't remember. There's some other things on the outside. But looks absolutely awesome. And initially I thought he made the tons and bought all the other stuff. But then I was looking back through his posts and no, he made all that. He's got another post on dry curing all that stuff. Looks awesome.
I wish I had time for that. I feel like I just don't.
Dry curing?
Yeah. I don't know. When people say they don't have time for something, you have time for a lot of things. It's what you choose to make time for.
Yep.
And anymore I choose to spend more time on my kids, things like that. But I'm like, I want to do that. I want to have plates of charcuterie board stuff just loaded everywhere, and that's all I eat. It would be so amazing.
There's so much that goes into that, though. My biggest problem with making this dry cured stuff is I then have a lot of dry cured sausage to eat, and then that's what I eat.
Is that bad?
No, but I will forego like things you should like. Should I eat a pound of prosciutto or should I eat a steak? I should eat a steak, but if prosciutto is there, I'm just going to eat it until I'm full. Like that's how my brain works. So
yeah. You're at least still eating meat and you're not like substituting it 100%. For ice cream.
Right. Which I did this past weekend too, though. So yeah, it's not good. Tex made some pichana?
I always pronounce that wrong. I don't know. I should know how to pronounce it.
It does look delicious though. I was watching a YouTube video on like how they get this cut. And it's not like a prime cut or anything. So, but it looks delicious. And then he also made some pizza, which I wouldn't really call pizza. It's got other things than pepperoni, cheese, and sauce on it.
Dude.
And finally, Toys for Dealer made a few different sausages and some jerk chicken. But then he sliced one of his Phillies in half. I think it's a Philly. Maybe it's a Supreme. It's either Philly or a Supreme. And then asks, "Is this too much cheese?" You responded to this because Process had asked or something.
I think it might have been Bocephus.
Bocephus.
He was like, "It's not enough for Austin," something like that.
Yeah, no, that's too much cheese.
I don't remember. Now I don't remember what he made, but it looks amazing. It is not too much cheese.
Well, just looking at it, it's either Supreme Pizza or Philly. It's got to be Philly with the amount of green bell peppers in there. It's got to be Philly.
I don't think it is. I'm going to have to pull it up and find out because I'm almost positive it's not. When I'm wrong, I'll be very disappointed. But don't make me do this. I haven't logged into Meatgistics on this in a while.
Is this a new toy contraption you have here? This?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. But I haven't used it in a long time.
Patrick was shocked that when you log into the admin panel, even if you're logged in, it still makes you log in.
I was like, what's happening?
Yeah, he's like, how am I because he thought he could make posts without logging in.
Because I'd happened to post on podcast, and then I was like, well, let me do my admin stuff. Then I was like, wait, log in. I was like, well, then who was just posting in podcast?
No, it makes you log into the podcast or to the admin panel no matter what.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, no, it's a good security feature.
I think it's only if you haven't been on in the last 15 minutes or something. It's
pretty sure it's
not. It's not like every time, but it's.
Well, I'm not there more than.
That's the longest password I've ever seen,
dude. It's my.
Sure.
I have every account that I'm on. I shouldn't.
Yeah, don't say this.
Every account I'm on, I'm the administrator.
Oh, okay.
So if you got on my account, you have access to everything. This is not just Meatgistics. This is on
what would I do with that? I don't know what to do with that.
You're not going to do anything. It's bad actors out there. Somebody wants in, not to advertise myself, but my account's a great account to have.
What are you trying to do here? Why don't you just go to?
I had to log in.
Oh, okay.
It won't. My own contraptions won't let me in.
It's taking quite some time.
I know.
I can log into Meatgistics 10 times by now.
Well, I had to log into my password keeper because you saw the length of that. I don't know what my password is.
And are you trying to look up the user now?
This is
like watching your 75-year-old dad try to work one of these newfangled remotes.
You didn't put in the name right. I'm blaming you.
What, Toys for Dealer?
Yeah.
It's Toys, the number 4 DLR.
I copied and pasted it and it did not.
Oh, because I put F instead of 4. I typed it in like an idiot. Like a moronic child.
Dang it.
Was that right?
It was Philly.
Of course it is.
I swear it was something else. My brain doesn't work well.
That's accurate. All right, moving on to Meat Matters. There's the Real Meat Act. It's being reintroduced by U.S. Senator Deb Fischer from Nebraska. I read this article in Meat and Poultry, but it's aiming at making meat alternatives and meat substitutes use the word imitation in their marketing material. So if you're making, even if it's cell-grown steak, it would have to say imitation steak.
Yes.
Which I think is awesome. We do have a small problem with that, though.
They still get to use steak in it?
No. I prefer they didn't. I don't know what you would call it, but we might have to change the name of the product imitation bacon.
Well, we call it imitation bacon.
Yeah, but people are going to see that and then think it's one of these. Like a not meat product.
Okay, let's change the law or whatever and say that it has to always be labeled with fake bacon, fake steak.
I'd be good with that.
That'd be even better.
So one of the things that people have been doing around Walton's recently is taking large cuts of beef and other meats and turning it into bacon. And Austin and I are going to take a stab at doing some of that on Friday. What large cut do you want me to get?
Well, so do we want to do pork or beef? Do we want to do beef?
Yeah. Personally, I think for our like inaugural one, let's just do something we know kind of works already.
I mean, yeah. So I think you have two different avenues. You either do something that's like is going to be good and it's going to be expensive. Do a rib roll, do a strip, like, I mean, really one of the two of those, or you go, let's do this as like a lower end cut that we're trying to like add value into, and just go buy like a cheap chuck roast, eye of the round. I mean, just you name it, buy a big roast and see what we could do with it.
Okay.
I think it'd be better to do a rib roll because that's going to be delicious.
Well, yeah, a rib roll would be the best to do. Sirloin roll or whatever you call it, the longimus.
I don't know.
There's a word for it. I think would also be really good, and that's what they've done. So I think that's what we should do. But then, yeah, I do think going and doing some of the cheaper cuts makes more sense. Because let's be honest, who's going to take a whole rib roll and make bacon out of it when you could get delicious steaks? Everybody wants to argue this with me, and I don't understand why.
I don't know.
Yes, the bacon was good. Was it that much better than regular bacon that you'd be willing to give up 9 steaks for it? No.
Well, you're not going to make the whole thing into it necessarily.
Patrick,
like,
you hurt my feelings with your no there.
You have so many steaks, you could use some bacon. You're fine.
So I watched a video, I don't know, a week ago. Somebody was making their holiday dinner, and I was intrigued because it wasn't ham or turkey, like your typical thing. It was like making like a rib roll, but they bought like a whole one. They cut off like a third. That was what they needed for their holiday meal, and then they made other stuff with the rest of it. So it's not like you're going to buy the whole thing and turn it all. Now we might, but if you're doing it at home, like
a small portion,
buy a whole one, cut off a third, make some bacon with it. Take a third, cut them into steaks, and the other third, cook it whole.
Okay, I'm better with that
because then you get a little bit of everything. Yeah,
you talked me off the cliff a little bit there.
But are we going to do the whole thing?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay,
for sure. I kind of have to.
As long as we can go overboard on it.
We're going to go overboard on it.
You can also do brisket. Brisket would work out well because it'd be like bacon.
Who was I arguing with? I think it was your brother. I don't know that brisket's going to hold together well enough.
Yeah, it will. It's very tough.
But it's got a lot. Are you talking just a flat? Because it's got too much room in between where all of your cure is just going to collect. Now you're going to cut it open. There's going to be this huge pocket of cure. So maybe you have to do a point and a flat.
I don't know. It would probably be totally fine if you were to tumble it, but that would also then require people to have like a large tumbler. Because even I've heard updates on Marinade Expresses, but that won't do it. Even a KMV 25 isn't hardly going to do it. You're going to need like 100 to a 500 pound tumbler. And then it's just like, okay, it's a commercialized item only. And then I'd go, not going to get a ton of traction because it's going to be very expensive. I feel like it's something people can do at home and justify, but people aren't going to buy a lot as a commercialized product, most likely.
We'll see how this picks up. The person who did it here, Colton Cook, one of our salesmen, said he was having trouble getting it picking up more than like 5%. So somebody in there said, tumble it for a while first to loosen everything up and then try injecting it. But I'm just going to try injecting it first. If it'll only pick up 5%, I'll put it in the tumbler for a little bit, let it tumble, inject it with more, and then keep going.
Yeah. Do you want, yeah, it just depends on the thickness. They're so thick. It's not like you're just doing, if you're doing a brisket, different deal. You're doing a whole like rib roll so thick. Right. That's just a different animal. I don't remember what we said on. You and I were talking earlier. Are we going to soak it? Not soak it?
Yeah, we're going to soak it.
If we soak it, then it's just, you'd probably be fine. Because think of it like ham then. We inject ham, and then we put it in a container in a cover solution and let it sit for a day. Yeah,
but when we inject ham and then put it in the 50% cover solution. That's more so that the we don't put fresh water in there and it doesn't leach out the cure. It's not so much to get cured going in.
I mean, it's kind of designed, to like get things into equilibrium,
right?
Let it spread out and cover everything. You're not going to have a ton of it go in. Some of it will. But it's to give it time that what's on the outside, what you did inject, it can kind of just penetrate everything more fully, so you don't end up with gray spots and uncured areas.
Okay. All right. Avian flu confirmed in California. More than 250,000 birds to be euthanized amid concerns. I saw this somewhere else where they said like 1 million, but it was Mercury News, and they wouldn't let me look at it without logging in. So I just moved on and found another source that said 1/4. But this is from the article. It says, Weber said even though they had to euthanize more than 80,000 chickens, he said his neighbor's duck farm was devastated even more and hit harder than his farm. They lost their entire operation, 170,000 ducks. Man. And those ducks are coveted across the state. Duck alarantia is phenomenal, but duck eggs are disgusting. So ducks are cuter than chickens. So I feel a little bit worse from that standpoint.
Yeah. I don't know. Never really thought about it that way. I just think about eating them.
No, that's fair.
I don't know. Duck meat is still like, I was at a store that duck meat's still fairly inexpensive. If you buy like whole bird, not expensive at all. It surprises me.
About how much?
I want to say it was like $3.49 a pound.
How many pounds was it?
I don't remember.
Okay. Interesting.
But, although some meat is very expensive. Our rabbit meat is probably being gotten. I don't know. I don't know what it's being today. I think. So that was like $20 a pound, but that is a special deal.
What do you mean? Like is it being shipped in today, or is your wife going to get it somewhere, or having it killing it at the place?
No, having it delivered.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Then
you either have to go get it or it's delivered, and they're like an hour away. I'm not gonna go. They do like a weekly delivery type of thing. So you just
is this part of the homesteading thing that Jenny's getting into?
No, Jenny wants to be the one doing that. She wants to have her own cows and everything, like raising your own animals. But this is basically from someone else's style of deal like that.
Cool.
Yeah, it's more commercialized than just a homestead, but it is. I mean, it's local. There's local to the point they can't ship it. They can't go do stuff. You either buy it there or they deliver
it once a week.
I forget why, but there's regulations on some of the stuff they do. Like you're a certain size, that's how you have to operate.
That's got to be an insane amount of money and cost for them to once a week go deliver to all their customers. Like, did you buy just one rabbit?
$20 a pound?
No,
I got boneless meat. Because like I said, I didn't want you to, I didn't want to give it to you and go, here, we're doing a Willow barbecue and you cook up rabbit ears. Like I want something good because too many times we eat something that it's like, this is going to suck.
Yeah.
I wanted something good.
Lucky rabbit's feet.
Just the feet. Nice.
Nice. Like wings.
I like it.
Ugh.
So yeah, I purposely just got boneless meat just so
I can't do anything.
You can't screw with me on it.
Yeah, but how I'm thinking like rabbit thigh meat. It's going to be like a piece like that big.
Yeah, I have no idea.
How are we gonna barbecue that?
Don't know. Oh, I also figured like when we were talking, was it on live stream when we were talking?
Yeah.
Like Patrick was like, that's like a chicken on the run type of thing. I'm like, yeah, that would be great in it. It's just going to be pieces. You just bread, deep fry.
That's not barbecue at all.
I know, but who's to say you can't
will it
do like naked tenders type of thing? You don't have to deep fry it, but you're just cooking that. You're not really doing anything
Can you guys
else.
both dress up as Elmer Fudd when we do this, though? And say, I'm hunting for rabbits.
We both got the right hairstyle for
That's what I mean. I'm sitting here like, no one's made that joke yet.
I think Elmer has more hair than you and I, though. Doesn't he have the little curly thing on top?
Yeah, little piece.
Does he? Okay.
Maybe.
He's always got the hat on. That's all I remember.
Who knows what's under there?
Speaking of hair, is it?
It's not here yet.
Okay.
No. We're talking about I'm not even going to call it toupee anymore. The wig that I bought Austin.
Yeah.
Is too, God, it was so much better.
Did you buy a good one or a joke one?
Somewhere in the middle. I wouldn't call it good.
Yeah, do I get him? I was hoping for like a purple mohawk.
No, we didn't go with that. I'm not giving you an out like, oh, look, I'm making a joke. It's a little bit of, hey, I have hair too, guys. So you're somewhere in the middle, but no one's going to take you seriously. So, all right. Soybean sprouts recalled after state finds listeria contamination. Well, hold on.
Don't eat sprouts.
Here's we all know sprouts are the number one way all sorts of things. E. coli, listeria, I don't think is much usually, but E. coli spreads. This recall was done on packaged food that is 2 weeks past its sell-by date.
Oh.
What? So what is the point of doing a recall if it's past the sell-by date?
Hey, by the way, don't manager special those. Those are bad.
I was trying to find information on that. Like, why would you do this? Like, what's the legal? Couldn't find anything.
They're doubling down.
So it must just be part of their process. Like, they're still required to.
Exactly. There has to be. But that has to be, I feel like, should be a lot more transparent to the public of what is that line and when should we be concerned with it?
Like, hey, you've already eaten this or thrown it out, but it had listeria. So
yeah.
Good luck.
Garrett, like, it should skull and crossbones for sure. Because otherwise I'm like, well, am I going to maybe have to be on the toilet later? Or better not. Or listeria.
Right.
Big difference.
Yep.
So.
Nope. Beef supplier recalls nearly 7,000 pounds of contaminated meat. This is for potential E. coli. It's Angus ground patties of all different sorts of sizes, and they were sold in Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Michigan, just those states. So Kansas were okay. E. coli is a potentially deadly bacteria that can cause dehydration, bloody diarrhea, and abdominal cramps in 2 to 8 days after exposure. Most people recover within a week, but some people develop a certain type of kidney failure, most common in children under 5, called hemolytic uremic syndrome.
Most common. Oh gosh,
Sounds bad.
It does sound bad.
Yeah.
But this is not a customer of ours.
So I got a question. When Mad Cow was around, right?
Yeah.
Who came up with the term Mad Cow?
Well, it's a prion disease. So it takes over the central nervous system. It's like CWD kind of. So they don't act right.
Sure.
So the cow's
it's
mad.
really crazy. So it's not like a MAD and it stands for something and happens to
Patrick,
mean
that's a
mad.
good question. It may actually be
An acronym or whatever.
an acronym for something.
No.
I just don't know what it is.
No, because it's bovine spongiform and
Okay.
spongiform encephalopathy. Encephalopathy.
Yeah, it's a
So
hard
it's
word to
almost
say.
like journalists named it. Mad Cow Disease, as they're calling it.
The acronym for it would be BSC. So
And I've seen that as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just
Mad's a
mad,
lot.
like they're acting mad. Meat is better for you than you think. This is from telegraph.co.uk. We can't read the article. You have to be logged in to read the article. What? It's going to pop up soon and ask you to get logged in.
It's already down. It's down here. Start your free trial. I can see it. What up?
I must go to that enough that it's like, no
Probably.
more free articles for you.
So yeah, this be. I don't know if IT has fully locked it down. If you can have Chrome on there, or if we like pulled that hard
No, you made them hard code or not. I don't know hard code. You made them
to let you in.
Yeah.
yeah, because you guys you're different. You have
Right,
to
we
have
need it for
different browser
something.
stuff. But you different browser incognito mode. Some of it they're just going to go off of IP
Right,
address.
so you're done.
So
But
in
they're
that
obviously
case-
not.
In that case, you could like instead of being on here, you could phone Wi-Fi hotspot type of thing.
It's a good
There's
thought.
ways around it. Hop on a VPN. Cloudflare, talked about them earlier.
Oh.
They have a free VPN.
Okay.
Hop on. Things like that.
Okay. But I didn't do any of that. So I
Or
don't
you can
know
just be
anything.
Austin and they let you in just
Just
because
say,
they're
"Hey,
like,
this-
oh, we better let him
He
in."
owns the company. No, I just like the headline. I like that more people are talking about like, hey, meat's not actually bad for you. All that collateral cancer or colloidal cancer stuff. Don't pay too much attention to that stuff. I saw an interesting
Do you guys remember that Schwarzenegger movie, Collateral Cancer?
collateral. I've still never seen that movie, Collateral Damage.
I'm not a fan of the article anymore.
What does it say?
They're basically saying don't eat processed meats. It's bad for your gut. It'll raise your blood pressure. It's gonna kill you, basically. Type 2 diabetes. I've never heard that before.
No,
Processed meats.
We've been talking about that for a couple of weeks. You don't.
Am I not paying attention to
You don't
things?
always pay attention to these.
To be honest, I sometimes do. Sometimes
You've got a lot of other things on your mind.
Can we make a news site called The Article? Because I feel like people say, "Oh, I read this article the other day," and we could just, it's the next word, right? We can use that. It's the next thing, so we don't have to. Come
Did we buy that?
Article.com.
No,
we
not
just
that
did,
one.
baby.
What we were talking about?
Oh no!
Okay.
I brought it up, and I was met with
It's already
emptiness.
exists, Patrick. They just didn't care one way or the other.
Yeah. Didn't, but also wasn't really super interested in trying it.
Okay.
We'll bring it back up again because I want to.
Okay.
I don't know that it's going to happen.
It's a little expensive, I thought.
That's already
Yeah.
a website.
Yeah, I
sorry.
know. I saw that.
Bummer.
Okay. Moving on, though. China is on the verge of deflation. Falling pork prices are not helping. So we talked about this in the past. I would say like 6 months ago. I didn't understand why, we always hear about inflation being such a bad thing, why deflation at that rate would be such a bad thing. But China is producing less pork at the direction of the CCP. Prices are down 32% year over year. And demand is way down. So we've always heard, as Americans at least, that China, pork is what they eat, right? It's in most of their dishes. They're the number one pork consuming nation in the world. Does China not really have as many people as they're saying they do?
Oh no, they do.
I don't know if that's true.
What advantage do they have to? There's a lot of things you could lie about for an advantage, but
How many people you have? That's a huge advantage. Yeah. Hey, we've got 1 billion people. Really, you've got
Come try us.
720
We have 1 billion.
million. Which is still a lot of people, but
I don't know.
What if there was only 10,000 people worldwide?
I'm going to go over there and check it out. I'll let you know what I find out.
Do it.
Just start counting them. Woman sues Hershey's over misleading Reese's wrapper design.
Oh, okay. Do we have a footage of it?
Oh, of the design?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the Hershey's pumpkins. She doesn't like that they weren't shaped like pumpkins.
Oh,
Oh, come on.
I've been
Right?
fooled by some. Yeah, come on. We've all bought the wrong candy bar. Been there, done that, right?
But who,
So is this going to go back to a McDonald's style lawsuit where somebody sued because the contents were hot on their coffee? Well, now because the picture shows that there's steam coming off the coffee, and if you don't get hot coffee with steam coming on it, you sue because it's not.
Yeah.
That's just that's
that's what's going on in this country right now. We're so litigious.
There's
People
probably
sue over anything because they see it as a way to make money.
it's probably. Why else would you sue somebody just to stick it to them?
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. Any
Look,
lawsuit I ever
legally
did would
it's on
be
my
solely
side.
based on anger. Just
And then you go-
I hate you.
Oh, there's a money compensation. I didn't even realize. Thank you so much.
You gonna
Judge.
give me money?
Oh my god.
No, I mean, you sue somebody if if you're seriously injured to get medical bills and whatever you can't work for a time, but you don't sue somebody, oh, I'm going to get rich or whatever. I wouldn't sue somebody for just, I'm going to get rich.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know.
Yeah, it depends on if they're rich or not. I wouldn't want to make them poor if I'm going rich, but yeah, the suing thing, yeah. The coffee one's a hot button issue. What I was gonna say is, I wish there was probably a moment in all of our lives we could have sued and won over something, and I'm curious what that moment was and how much money we would have gotten.
Mhm.
I've left a place and just went, Jesus,
Yep.
whether it's hot, cold, whatever, whose fault that is, and whatever catalyst happened after that. But yeah, I'm trying to figure out what that moment might have been. But oh well.
It's disappointing. If anything else, if a lawsuit goes through, I love Reese's. And companies like that, they're not going to take, they're not just going to build, they're not just going to absorb that entirely. It'll go into the product price. It's the rest of us will pay for it. So I will be paying with my dollars the Reese's lawsuit.
Or they'll
Probably
just
a
stop.
fraction of a penny, but still.
They'll stop making those products.
Or that too. And that's a shame because the Reese's, normal Reese's, they're good.
No.
But with the ridges, it makes them kind of hard. When they do the fancy holiday ones that are shaped, and I don't care what they look like, if they look like it or not, but they're softer.
Yep.
It is a different texture.
And this person is depriving us of that.
It's horrible.
All right. Plan to put pig genes and soybeans for tastier fake meat from Wired. I don't want to talk about this much because we discussed this kind of a year ago, but it's just surprising that it's still going on. But in my opinion, Frankenplant is not going to end well. Like,
Dude, instead of flowers, they were little pig heads. It's like a sunflower with a pig head.
Now I'm in. Now I'm in. You've totally changed my mind. Oh my! Can you imagine driving by a field of that and the pigs can like move their mouths and follow you?
It's no longer like a Venus flytrap.
Oh,
It's a legit animal sticking out the top.
So this is how the Mark Wahlberg movie The Happening starts. Yeah, we're in trouble. But no, my grandmother used to say all the time, she'd say, it's not nice to fool with Mother Nature. And the older I get, the wiser she seems.
Shut up, Grandma!
Yeah, no.
Get back in the basement!
That's kind of how, you know, as kids, we used to be like, oh, you don't know anything. The older I get, I mean, I remember the first time I showed her MTV, she was like, this is going to destroy our country. And I was like, oh, what an overreaction that is. She's pretty smart.
Dude, MTV gave us so many good things. No, I'm kidding. I'm not a fan of MTV.
I bet you were a fan of Road Rules back in the day. You seem like a Road Rules guy.
That's where
No?
Theo
Okay,
Von
cool.
got us started.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, moving on to wild card. All right, we talked about brown bears in Japan a while ago. It is so much worse than what we first thought it was. They had 212 people get attacked in 2023. Let me repeat that. They had 212 bear attacks in Japan in 2023, and 6 were killed. They're also leaving elders behind. So they don't actually know how many people are getting killed here.
Dude, there might be jacking like old people going on a walk and it's like, oh, they went missing. I don't know what happened.
Yep.
And they're just like, oh, that tastes good.
What are you laughing about?
This is a stat from Google.
Okay.
Do your own fact checking. 750,000 black bears in North America killed less than one person per year on the average, while 1 out of each 16,000 people commit murder across the year, or across North America every year.
So you're saying black bears aren't as dangerous as humans?
That's what they're saying.
Yeah, that's true.
1 out of 16,000? I could probably say I've met 16,000 people in my life.
I know for a fact you know one murderer.
You?
I know for a fact you know somebody who's murdered. So no, I'm just kidding. But if you've met 16,000 people, yeah, you've probably met a murderer.
What's the stat? You'll meet like what, 4 or 5 serial killers in your lifetime?
What?
Have you not heard that one?
No.
Yeah, isn't that interesting?
How many? There's not that many serial killers.
How many do you think there are?
Well, if 1 out of 16,000 people are killing somebody every year, dude.
I know there's over at least like probably 2,500, like
No.
for sure. Yeah, that have like killed. Well, what's serial killer? 1 or more kill? Like,
No, I see it as more than that.
well,
though.
let's do murderer. Like, if they've killed 2 or more people, there's probably at least a handful, 2,500 to 5,000 people.
If that's what, okay. I think of a serial killer as like,
10 or more,
but not even that. Like they have to have like a MO
Oh.
and like,
be famous, be notorious.
well, no, just like
Infamous.
something specific they do, like the washcloth bandits.
Okay, yeah. No, that's.
If it's just somebody
that's
who-
a very Disney definition.
If it's
but
a gang member who's killed like 8 people, I don't really consider them a serial killer,
Oh, I'm sorry.
right? I don't. I just don't.
It's not up to you, I guess. I don't know.
I guess not.
Imagine you're the guy that's like, hey, John, we got a case. Here's the details. Is he a serial killer or not? And you
No.
go, I don't think so. I don't know.
Oh, I forgot it. It's in the fridge.
What is it?
We'll end the podcast with it.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
Is it, wait, if it's a severed head, I'm going to be very
No, you know
upset.
what it is, but it's along those lines.
Okay, cool.
Think back to earlier today.
Yeah, for
Okay.
sure.
Robot attacked Tesla engineer at Texas factory. I have cue the Terminator music here. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Tesla robot goes haywire. An engineer in Texas factory leaves a trail
Oh.
of blood.
Dude, that's not good.
So it apparently thought it was grabbing a car part and pierced him with one of its talons and dragged him. Is that not the worst thing you've ever heard of?
That would be horrible.
This is all going to end in tears. The whole AI robot doing everything is all going to end badly.
I don't know. I don't like where some of it's going. We'll see where it ends.
I thought at the end of Terminator 2, I thought that the guy that created, the robot, I thought he killed himself and it was all over.
Well, he died.
Yeah. And then the T, whatever, was 9,000 or whatever was still around.
Yeah, I don't remember why Terminator 3 happened.
Yeah. Like, what is that? Like,
because every good franchise needs a trilogy.
Yeah.
The third one wasn't good, though.
Yeah, but we had this discussion like 2 weeks ago.
Movies are very important to us.
Yeah, like we're I forget what we were exactly talking about. One of them was like Dumb and Dumber. They made movies after that. It's not as good as the first, but you still watch it.
Terminator 2 is better than Terminator 1, though.
Well, yes.
Terminator and Aliens, in my opinion, are the only movies I can think of where the sequel is better than the original.
Yeah, I mean that's the
Extremely
rare deal. But if you make one and it's a big hit, you make another, you can make a third.
Ugh, that's terrible to hear. I don't want to think about that. All right. Shark attack strikes South Australia at Ethel Beach. This was another death on the York Peninsula. It was a 14-year-old kid. It bit his leg off. I don't know what's going on with sharks right now, but it's not cool. Hawaii just had somebody get killed the other day. That one I feel a little bit less bad for. They found a baby humpback whale close to shore. And they're like, it's impossible that you're going to find a baby without its mom. Like they're bonded. Like there's no separation. So they're like, the mom's out there somewhere dead. So we're going to have a dead humpback whale out here. Don't go surfing. Like sharks are going to come in for this. And they still went out surfing. This guy died. It's terrible. But
yeah.
Skip that one. Frightening large crocodile leaps into man's boat with jaws wide open. Don't bother watching the video because it's not in there.
Oh,
like,
you searched it.
I'm dead serious. They wrote an entire article with no evidence of this actually happening. I watched a 4-minute video trying to find this, and there's nothing.
It sounds like me. That's me searching for that Grizzly Man audio the other day, and I'm like, it's just the same fake audio all day.
Well, it doesn't. That would be like me saying I was on a boat, and just like Jaws at the end of the movie, where that same thing happened to me.
Yeah. Yep.
No proof of it. And then for the best image and headline I have ever seen, it doesn't have the link to it, but I took a screenshot of it. So
Yes.
It is bull elk wears the corpse of a mountain lion as a crown on its head. What's up, Patrick?
I heard that toddler again. Did someone press play? You guys quit messing with me, dude.
We're not messing with you. Why would we play a toddler sound?
My sound is on, actually, but I'm not playing anything.
But there is a picture of this fairly large elk wearing the corpse of a mountain lion in its antlers. It's awesome. Mm-hmm. It is the most metal thing of all time. Actually, it's probably the second most metal thing of all time. I'm going to do the most metal thing of all time right now. But we need some participation from you.
I'm getting concerned.
You should be. This could be possibly concerning.
Wait, are you just going to pull out the hairpiece?
No, no, that smelled too bad. They got thrown out. You have to turn around for this, and I'll tell you when you can turn back.
Dude, I don't.
You don't have to. You're not going to get hit with anything. You're not going to get. This might not even make the podcast, so thanks for watching. If we cut it off here,
I'm still.
But you have to actually turn around so you don't see what I'm doing.
I got to replay this, see if I hear a small Spanish-speaking child again at the hour 3-minute mark. Oh yeah. Make sure you're on screen.
Is it better if I do it this way or this way?
That way looks kind of metal, right?
Out,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Are you putting something on me?
No, this isn't on you. Just step in the frame. So there you go.
Okay, turn back around. Well, hello, cuz.
Gosh, that's disgusting.
This is pigskin.
Oh,
We bought I bought a picnic shoulder.
Oh, put your hat on too if you could.
No, I don't want to dirty the hat up.
Oh,
your face. It's fine. On your face.
I'll wash the face.
Oh, dude, that looks just like Leatherface.
Oh my goodness.
That's the thumbnail.
That's
for
it.
Sure.
See you guys.
Thanks for checking out the Meatgistics podcast. To shop everything but the meat, head on over to waltons.com. To get your meat processing questions answered by experts and enthusiasts alike, head on over to our online community at meatgistics.com. Waltons, everything but the meat.